Welcome to Meetings in Math. Today we're looking at rewriting equations and formulas. Our essential question is explain how to solve for a variable when there is more than one variable in the equation. This is helpful when we're given a formula and we don't want to do all the algebraic work over and over again, and so we rewrite the formula into the variable that we should be solving for. So let's look at what we need today to get started. We need a pen or a pencil, our Jaguar Jot starting on page 10. It should say 1.4 rewriting equations and formulas at the top. Our essential question, explain how to solve for a new variable when there is more than one variable in an equation. A calculator that is standalone or on our computer or on a phone, and our problem solving skills. So let's get started. So here's our equation, negative 2x minus 3y equals 6, and the directions tell us to solve the equation for y. And this is the whole reason why this entire chapter we've been putting in our roads. Well, not the whole reason, but a really big reason. We have the left side and the right side, and our y's are already on the left side. So this side's going to stay y's, and the right side's going to be anything but y's. So that would be, what else do we have besides y's? Well, we have numbers and we have x's. So if it's a number or an x, it's going to go on the right side. If it's a y, it's going to stay on the left. And so we ask ourselves what terms, so we're looking first for terms that don't belong. Well, the term that doesn't belong is this negative 2x. So we are going to add 2x to both sides. And negative 2x plus 2x is 0x. Leaving us with a negative 3y. And these are not like terms, so they're going to stay apart. And don't forget your equal sign. So now we have negative 3y equals 2x plus 6. So we need to negative 3 times y, we need to divide by negative 3. And this is typically where we start to lose people. This is two different division problems. We have a 2 divided by negative 3, and we have a 6 divided by negative 3. There's two different problems there. Negative 3 over negative 3 is 1, so y equals. 2 over negative 3 just stays that, so it becomes negative 2/3 x. And then 6 divided by negative 3 is a negative 2. So our answer is going to have an x in it. We don't know what x is, so we have to leave it like that. So again, there was two different problems here. The first one was 2x divided by negative 3. And so we rewrote that as negative 2/3 x. And then the second problem was 6 divided by negative 3. And we rewrote that as negative 2. Okay, let's look at A. We're going to put in our road, and we're going to decide which side we want our x's on and which side we want our y's on. So ask ourselves, what are we solving for? Y. So this side's going to be y's, and this side's going to be x's and numbers. So that x does not belong. So we're going to add x to both sides. So negative x plus x is 0. So we're left with 5y equals x plus 10. And you might wonder why I'm not doing 10 plus x, because that's how you would have read it down. And it's because we put our variables first. So now the 5 doesn't belong, so I need to divide both sides by 5. But that's, both terms have to be divided by 5. So y equals, well, there is a 1 in front of this x right here. So that is 1/5 x plus, and then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So just in case you didn't see it, there's your 1/5, and your 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that 5 has to go to both things. It's like distributive property with division. This time we're being asked to solve for x. So this is going to be my x side, and then what's on this side is numbers and y's. So the y doesn't belong. So we are going to add 4y, because that's the opposite of negative. So we end up with, that's 0. 4x is equal to 4y plus 1. So 4 times x, we need to divide both sides by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 1y, or just y. And then I have 1 divided by 4. I am just going to leave that as 1/4. I'm not going to try anything special. And then 4 over 4 is just 1, so this is x. It's okay that we have fractions. Fractions are okay. You try that one. Okay, so we're solving for f. So this side's f. So this side must be numbers and h. So h did not belong, so negative 3h. So you are left with negative 6f is equal to negative 3h plus 12. Negative 6 times f, so you are going to divide by negative 6. So f equals, now, negative 3 divided by negative 6. I have more on the bottom, so this is going to be a positive 1/2. 12 divided by negative 6, positive and negative, so that's going to be negative. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay, so w's, they're on this side, so this side's going to be w. This side's going to be v and numbers. So the 6v is what doesn't belong. So subtract 6v from both sides. Negative 6v plus 12 is equal to 3w. Now that's 3 times w, so to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Negative 6 divided by 3 is a negative 2v. And then 12 divided by 3 is 4. So those were just problems. They didn't have any kind of real life example that went with them. They were just problems. But example 2 is a real life problem. It says the surface of an area of a square pyramid is s equals x squared plus 2xl. And solve the formula for the slant height, which is that funny looking L. So if we have s equals x squared plus 2xl, so that means that I'm going to keep my l's over here, and what belongs over here would be numbers, x's, and s's. Well, the s is already there. Oh, and an x squared too. So I can't mess with this term until this x squared is gone. So I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides. So now I have s minus x squared is equal to 2xl. Well, that's 2 times x times l, so it's all multiplication. So I'm just going to divide, and I'm out of room. That's okay. What do we do when we're out of room? We come back over here. So the 2's become 1 and the x's become 1. This, we don't know how to simplify that. That is as simple as we can possibly make it. So s minus x squared over 2x is equal to, what's left on that side? L. Hey, I have L isolated. I'm done. So sometimes you're going to finish a problem and you're going to be like, wow, I'm already done. How'd that happen? Stop. Ask yourself, what was I trying to get by itself? And if you're there, stop. So you're going to always want to go back and make sure you go, okay, well, what was I trying to get by itself? I was trying to get L by itself. And once you're there, stop. So today, what did we do? We rewrote equations. That's what we were doing. We were just playing with equations and we were rewriting them to something specific that I told you to write it to. What I would like you to do today is I would like you to write down 2 important ideas that you learned. So it may have even been about what's that fraction bar. You have to make sure you divide both things on the top. It may have been this idea of separating and writing this, what you're trying to solve on both sides. It may have been that you now know some things can't be simplified when they're being divided. I'm not sure what it was that you learned. I'd like you to write down those 2 main ideas over here in the margin and be ready to talk about it in class. Thank you so much for showing up today for our lesson on rewriting equations and formulas. And remember, be kind to each other because we can always use a little kindness in our lives. And I can't wait until I see you again in our next lesson. Bye for now.